A quiet but critical signal is emerging from Washington. No security guarantees for Kyiv, not yet. As fragile peace talks inch forward, President Donald Trump is holding back America's biggest leverage card. And now, with new negotiations possibly on the horizon, the question is no longer if a deal is coming, but on whose terms. The United States is drawing a line, quietly but firmly. According to multiple European and American officials cited by Politico, Washington does not plan to offer Ukraine formal security guarantees before Kyiv reaches a peace agreement with Moscow. In other words, no long-term American shield until there is a deal. At the center of this strategy is President Donald Trump. A senior U.S. official says Trump is deliberately using security guarantees as leverage over Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. The calculation? Lock down the terms first, solidify the commitments. Only then consider signing anything that binds Washington to Ukraine's future defense. The logic, according to that official, is blunt. If security guarantees are handed out too early and negotiations stall, the United States loses its most powerful bargaining chip. Trump, the source says, does not want symbolism. He wants enforceable terms. And what is blocking those terms? Territory. That remains the central sticking point. Both Moscow and Kyiv are dug in. Neither side appears ready to concede critical land claims. Yet behind closed doors, officials insist there is still a path forward. Meanwhile, the Kremlin is signaling movement. Spokesman Dmitry Peskov confirmed that another round of talks is expected soon. When asked whether those negotiations could take place in Miami, as Zelenskyy suggested, Peskov declined to confirm the location. Washington has reportedly proposed either Miami or Abu Dhabi, the site of the previous round. Zelenskyy, however, says Moscow is hesitating. Publicly, he has accused Russia of dragging its feet on further U.S.-brokered discussions aimed at halting the fighting. The implication? Kyiv is ready to talk, but questions remain about the Kremlin's willingness to compromise.
Regarding the energy truce, we haven't received any response from the Russians, and in fact quite the opposite. We must say we received their answer in the form of drone and missile attacks. This clearly indicates that they are not ready for the energy truce that the American side proposed in Abu Dhabi, not yet. Now, concerning the potential meeting, whether it's in Miami or in Abu Dhabi, you might be wondering why I'm saying, oh, that's because the American side has already put forward a proposal for this to happen as early as next week, a meeting right there in the United States, specifically in Miami. And we immediately confirmed and waited for the Russians. Currently, I believe Russia is hesitating. It will again be a Middle East or America proposal. We are ready. We don't care if we meet in Miami or Abu Dhabi. The most important thing is to achieve a result. I've heard publicly on several occasions how the Russian side has extended invitations. However, it seems to me that they were inviting me personally. I have already responded to that. We are defending our nation, and Russia has attacked us. They are clearly the aggressor. Cannot come to Moscow for negotiations with Putin, the capital of the country that is the aggressor in this war. We are ready to support the proposals of the United States of America to meet in any territories, America, Europe, neutral countries, any states, except for the Russian Federation and Belarus. Belarus, because it was an ally in the full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Do I believe that there can be an end to the war? Look, it doesn't depend solely on Ukraine. It depends on America, which absolutely must apply pressure. Now, forgive me for saying must, but there's no other way. It must pressure Russia. If there is a will, not only from the Ukrainian side, but also from the aggressor's side, then we can manage to end hostilities by summer. Why? Because the phased nature of this process depends primarily for Ukrainians on security guarantees. To know, not just to believe, but to truly know that in the future, Russian aggression will be impossible, or if Russia still decides to proceed with it, we will not be alone and there will be strong protection. These are security guarantees primarily from the United States of America, from strong military packages and so on. Therefore, the signing of this agreement depends today exclusively on the United States of America.
We have some understanding. We will keep you informed. As we said, we expect the second round to happen soon. Actually, it will be the third. The next round will happen soon. We'll update you on the location.
For the UK, we're spending the highest level of support ever on Ukraine. Today, I'm announcing a new £500 million package of urgent air defence support, President Zelenskyy's top priority. £150 million for Pearl, for air defence interceptors, £400 million for 1,000 lightweight multi-role missiles, and an extra 1,200 air defence missiles with partners from the Air Defence Consortium. The military support promised here today at the UDCG has a direct impact on the front line, a direct impact on the number of Ukrainian lives lost. But we need to dig deeper into our stockpiles and into our pockets. Nothing is off limits for Putin. To Boris Pistorius, my good friend and co-chair of the UDCG. And make no mistake, Putin is watching what we do today. Let him show that we are more united, more determined than ever to stand with Ukraine.
I would like to urge all partners around the table. We must practice what we preach. Let's not only take a critical look at our national stocks, but also make use of existing joint funding mechanisms for procurement. The immediate action on air defense initiative is one example for this. Pearl also plays an important role to this. Thank you for that. We must focus even more on the urgently required air defense assets that can only come from the US. My friends, in addition to the urgently needed winter relief, we must not lose sight of our medium and long-term support. For 2026, Ukraine has clearly specified the scope of support required. The Ukrainian priorities are air defense, drones, and long-range artillery ammunition.
Minister Fedorov.
Ukraine will remain a top priority for me personally. I think for all of us, we must enable Ukraine to keep defending itself, even as negotiations continue. And this group, the UDCG, is the backbone of our support to Ukraine. So we have to use this forum to improve the quality, the quantity, but let me also say the speed, next to quality and quantity, the speed of our assistance. Ukraine's extensive defense needs come on top of significant requirements for concurrent recovery and reconstruction. And it will persist into the mid and long term. This will not end soon. Even if the fighting stops tomorrow, Ukraine will need our assistance in building a strong, modern and well-equipped armed forces, because that in the end is the best deterrent against a repeated invasion by Russia. Of course, security guarantees on top of that, but your own armed forces will be the first and best deterrent against a repeated invasion.